Not too long ago, I published a Notion template for managing your personal wealth and tracking your net worth. And I was kind of bombarded with requests for a Google Sheets version of it. So that's what I have for you. And just like the Notion version, it leverages the latest features of Google Sheets, including the relatively new table feature that really makes Google Sheets a more viable database app where you can tightly structure your information so you can manage it most efficiently and make it most usable. So I'm going to walk you through this sophisticated wealth tracker for Google Sheets and show you how to add your own information. And in the video description, you'll find a link to Productivity Nexus where it's available for you to duplicate. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe for more insights and resources around systemization, automation, and AI. So the system contains three key tabs. The dashboard is a snapshot of your wealth. At the top are donut charts for your assets and liabilities with a pie slice for each category. And below them are their total values and then tables that break them down by category. And between the charts, we have your total net worth, which is, of course, your assets minus your liabilities. And then the Holdings tab aggregates all of your assets and liabilities. Each item's classification combines its category and subcategory, and it's a drop-down menu with asset classifications in green and the liabilities in red. And then the provider is the financial institution for assets like checking, savings, investment, and retirement accounts, and liabilities like credit cards and mortgages. That's also a drop-down list, and we'll see how to manage the options when we look at the Providers tab. And when there's a provider, there's typically an associated account with a unique ID. So the account number property contains the last four characters of that ID for your easy reference. And the specifiers for holdings that share the same classification and provider. It's a way of distinguishing them in a way that's easier to recognize than the account number. And the valuation property contains the most recent valuation of the asset or liability. And typically that'll correspond with a monthly statement from the provider. And then the valuation date is the date of that statement or other valuation source. And in the valuation source property, you have a direct link to the page online where you access new valuations. And the Providers tab contains those financial institutions for the assets and liabilities associated with accounts. These are the options in that provider drop-down for each holding. And to complement the category breakdown on the dashboard, the three provider properties offer another helpful way of summarizing your holdings. So for each provider, we have the total assets, total liabilities, and then the difference as the net worth. And they're all calculated automatically from formulas, so you want to be careful not to modify any of these columns. The italics and little sparkles in the headings indicate automated properties that shouldn't be edited. So let's see how to make this system yours with your own information. When you access the template, it'll have two sample holdings and two sample providers. The first step will be to duplicate the spreadsheet to your own Google account. Go up to File and choose Make a Copy. Name it whatever you want, and then you can choose a folder within your Google Drive or just leave it at the top level. Then click Make a Copy, and that'll open it so you can close the one that you duplicated. And before you dive in, remember not to modify any of the automated columns indicated with italics and the sparkle character. And you also have no need to edit the dashboard. That's fully automated as well. So let's walk through a common example. We'll add a Wealthfront brokerage account. When you're adding an asset or liability that has a provider, you want to add the provider first in the Providers tab if it's not already there for another holding. And for the first two items you add in both tabs, you can overwrite the sample content and then continue below it. So when I add Wealthfront, you'll see those calculated columns return to 0. And then in holdings, for the classification, we'll choose investment accounts and individual brokerage. Then choose Wealthfront as the provider. And assuming we'll have multiple individual brokerage accounts with Wealthfront, we'll add a unique specifier. So in this case, we'll use our automated index investing account and the last four digits of the account number. And then you're going to need the latest valuation, which in this case, and in most cases, is the latest monthly statement. So sign into your account and navigate to the page where you access your statements. And while you're there, go ahead and copy the URL and paste it into the valuation source column. And then click the pencil icon to give it a friendly name. So having this link here really makes it a no-brainer to access your latest valuation each month. And if you use the Password Manager 1Password, it'll sign you right in automatically. So with each latest statement, you'll update the valuation with the balance and the valuation date with the end date, or whatever's most applicable to the type of asset or liability if it's not an account with statements. For real estate, for example, I like to use Zillow's tool for estimating the latest market value each month. And that's all there is to it. With that asset added, we now have values for total assets and net worth for Wealthfront. And on the dashboard, it's reflected in the pie chart, the category breakdown, and your calculated net worth. So it takes a little time to get configured, but you'll actually find it to be a really helpful exercise for kind of recalibrating your mind around your finances. And once everything's in place, you'll have a really simple but powerful method of managing your wealth and tracking your net worth and staying attuned to your assets and liabilities. And for updating your valuations each month, you can do them all at once or as they become available. What I do is I have email notifications configured with my provider, so when each new statement hits my inbox, I update the corresponding valuation in just a couple of clicks. So go grab the system from Productivity Nexus and let me know in the comments if you have any questions.